and for my presentation I will be discussing motivation levels in middle school physical education students. The purpose of the study was to investigate methods to increase motivation for middle school students. The central research questions for the study include: what are the effects of adolescence on motivation to participate in physical education class? What influence does physical education teachers have on student motivation in physical education class? And how can the use of technology help motivate students to engage in physical activity? For my values, faith, and beliefs, I believe that student success is dependent on their participation levels in class. Teachers do need to be aware of their students' feelings and desires for their particular content area, and in my case, PE class. Not every student is going to enjoy PE, but they do need to feel that they are capable of success. One job for teachers is to ensure that their students feel that they are in a safe learning environment. Students should not feel that they are being discriminated by both the teacher and their peers. I encourage my students to be motivating and helpful to their peers and make sure that everyone knows that their skill level does not matter, especially in the middle school setting. I do feel that my students should be able to have some say in certain activities, such as giving them options or even something as simple as which teams they would like to play against that day. For my beliefs, I feel that all students should be respected and I should always have a positive attitude toward my students. In regards to respect, all students should be treated fairly. This will help with gaining their respect and keeping control of my classes. One scripture that I find fitting to my personal philosophy is Peter chapter 5 verses 2 through 4, which states, "Be shepherds of God's flock that is under your care, watching over them, not because you must, but because you are willing, as God wants you to be, not pursuing dishonest gain, but eager to serve, not lording it over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away." My decision to earn my credential was based on my desire to help students grow as individuals, not because I feel it's something I have to do. And by implementing my values, faith, and beliefs into my teaching, I feel that I can accomplish this. For my first scholarly review, I discussed the effect of learning activities on student motivation. The purpose of the study was to examine whether students' motivational beliefs has an effect on participation in physical education classes. For the procedure, the participants in the study were asked to complete questionnaires regarding their self-efficacy, effort and persistence, and outcome expectancy of health-related fitness, and the participants' physical activity levels were measured using accelerometers during their soccer unit. So for the study, 225 students from public middle schools in southeastern United States were recruited, and they were randomly selected from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The questionnaires were analyzed using a MANOVA to examine whether those variables were affected by the different learning activities. The researchers then used multiple regression analysis to examine the effect of student self-efficacy and outcome expectancy on their physical activity levels and perceived level of effort for both fitness and soccer. Excuse me. The outcome of the study resulted in moderate levels of perceived effort and persistence and motivational beliefs, and their time engaged in moderate to vigorous physical activity, as determined by the accelerometers, indicated that some students were active and others were inactive in physical activity. For their soccer unit, the students reported lower levels of outcome expectancy and self-efficacy and health-related than they did in the health-related fitness. However, their physical activity levels were higher during soccer. So the information from this article is relevant to my purpose statement because this article focuses on the different factors that students face during physical education class, and these factors should be taken into consideration to help students stay motivated and engaged in physical education class. My next scholarly article had to do with internet assessment tools, and the purpose of this research study was to determine the effectiveness of technology in the classroom and the extent to which it would motivate middle school students. So for this study, participants followed written worksheets that helped navigate them through web-based lessons in their school computer lab. These lessons analyzed the participants' nutrition habits and provided estimated caloric needs, and the participants researched ways to improve their nutritional and physical health. Different physical activities that they can get involved in, and reasons why their nutritional and physical health are important. After completing the lessons, the participants completed a survey, including the technology and wellness survey, regarding the results from the lessons, as well as the use of technology in their physical education class. So for the study, 12 students were recruited from a private Catholic school. In order to analyze the results of the survey, the answers of the survey were inserted into a Microsoft Excel worksheet, and a percentage was found for the results of each survey question. According from the results from the surveys, the majority of students gave calorie consumption totals that were reasonable for their age group. 20 of the 27 students said that they were surprised how much of the food that they eat on a daily basis is considered junk food. 25 of the 27 students understood the concept between calories in versus calorie out. 80% enjoyed using technology for classwork. 75% stated that eating healthy is important to them. 87% stated that exercising is important. 55% stated that the nutritional portion of the web lessons made them more aware about their eating habits. And 63% stated that the physical health portion of the web lessons made them more aware of their physical health. So the use of technology is more effective than instruction-based teaching alone, and students prefer using computers for their physical activity lessons. And just the web lessons also made students more aware of their eating and exercise habits. So the information from this article is relevant to my purpose statement because this article discusses the effectiveness of technology in the classroom and how well it motivates student participation. For the third scholarly review, I talked about socio-motivational factors, and the purpose of the study was to determine whether students' social and motivational factors are significantly related, whether those factors relate to physical activity and physical education, and whether students' physical activity levels and socio-motivational factors relate to physical activity levels within the span of 1 week. So for this study, it took place over 3 weeks. During the first week, students were asked to take a survey regarding self-efficacy, social support, and enjoyment in physical activity in one physical education class. And then for the next 2 weeks, they wore pedometers to measure the number of steps taken to estimate physical activity levels during their physical education class. Participants then responded to a questionnaire regarding their activity levels during a week. The survey instruments used for the study were the Children's Physical Activity Confidence Scale, the Intrinsic Motivational Inventory Scale, pedometers, and the Physical Activity Questionnaire for Children. The Children's Physical Activity Confidence Scale is used to measure physical activity self-efficacy. The survey consisted of 6 questions using a 5-point Likert scale that participants used to rate how likely they were to participate in physical activities in different situations, such as with their family and friends, over the past 3 months. The Intrinsic Motivational Inventory Scale was used by participants during an activity regarding their thoughts and feelings at that time to determine their physical activity enjoyment. The pedometers were used, as I mentioned before, to estimate the number of steps taken during class. And then the total number of steps was divided by the class time to find the number of steps taken per minute. And the Physical Activity Questionnaire for Children was used by participants as a self-report to assess their overall level of physical activity. This questionnaire consisted of a 5-point Likert scale and consisted of questions regarding how many days over the past week the students participated in a variety of physical activities. So for this study, there were 149 males and 158 females aged 12 to 15, grades 6 through 8. To analyze the data, the researchers used Cronbach's alpha coefficients, descriptive statistics, Pearson product moment correlation coefficients, and multiple regressions. The results from Cronbach's alpha coefficients determined that students' intrinsic motivation was positively related to identified regulation and negatively related to external motivation and amotivation. Their external motivation was positively related to amotivation. Their amotivation was negatively related to the number of steps per minute. Their identified regulation and intrinsic motivation was negatively related to the amount of time spent in sedentary behaviors, and their intrinsic motivation was positively related to the amount of time spent in moderate to vigorous activity. So basically, according to the average number of steps taken per minute, the participants were at less than half of the recommended number of steps. However, this may be due to the amount of time spent standing while listening to the teacher's instructions and waiting to participate. However, the students still got their recommended amount of time in moderate to vigorous physical activity. So the information from this article is relevant to my purpose statement because it explores how different types of motivation promote student learning and participation in physical education class. For my study, students were informed of the study by their physical education teachers. as a volunteer. They were given a minor consent form to be signed by their parents or guardians. After they gave back their consent form, they're emailed a link to the study, which includes the purpose of the study, how long it would take to complete the survey, and their right to anonymity and confidentiality. So they'll complete the survey, which is the middle school motivation level survey that I developed. The responses are going to be completed or collected using Google Forms. They'll be given 1 week to complete this survey. The online survey will consist of 5 demographic questions followed by, I think it's 18 Likert scales questions regarding their personal experiences in physical education class. So the participants from the study are going to be students from 3 different middle schools in Southern California. They're all enrolled in a general physical education class in grades 6 through 8. The survey instrument designed for the study was the middle school motivation level survey. The purpose of the survey design was to use a Likert scale to determine popular methods and techniques to increase motivation levels and participation rates in physical education classes. The questions on the survey were designed to help me understand what students prefer in regards to the types of activities they would enjoy, as well as their outlook and feelings toward participating in their physical education class. The first portion of the survey collects demographic data from the participants and includes age, grade, gender, ethnicity, student-athlete status, and current enrollment in a physical education class, and current grade point average. So that's, yeah. The second portion has 18 Likert scale questions. 6 of those questions address the effects of adolescence on participation. 5 questions address the influence of physical education teachers on participation, and then 5 questions are related to the influence of technology on participation levels. So I'm taking a qualitative approach to this. So the results from the study will be entered into a Microsoft Excel document, and then Google Forms will be used to determine the percentages and trends for each survey item. So thank you for watching this, and have a great day.